Now we are going to talk about the visual analytics in the Tableau. And having said that, the data that is overly summarized is somehow losing its ability to inform. What I mean is then when it is too much detailed, means when we are doing a lot of detailing, the rapid interpretation of the data is getting compromised somehow. Now, in these kind of scenarios, the visual analytics is bridging this gap by providing the right style of data visualization and detail about the situational need. But when we are talking about the visual analytics, there are a few things that we need to keep in mind. First thing is that it should be simple in nature. It should be having a better connectivity. Visual competence should be there. We should be able to share it and scale. It should be able to, handle the large data. So these are the few things that we need to take care. And this is one way of doing the visual analytics, where we are talking about the segmentation or the cohort analysis, right? Now, what is the meaning of cohort? Any idea, guys, what is the meaning of cohort? Cohort means basically a group. Or a group of people with similar interests. For example, there are a few people, and let us say, there is a lady called Pratima, and then we are having Ashutosh, then we are having Mohit, we are having Amit. Now, all these people, they, wanted to upskill themselves, and Mohit and Amit, they decided to go for the Tableau training. Whereas Pratima and Ashutosh, they decided to go for, maybe they wanted to do some business. So, on a general, if we are having a data set, it is having these many people into it. That is the Pratima, that is the Ashutosh, that is the Mohit, and then we have Amit. This is the whole general data that we have. But if you try to create a cohort, means people with a similar idea, Mohit and Amit, both decided to go for the Tableau training, means both of them are sharing some similar characteristics or the similarities. Pratima and Ashutosh, they decided to go for the business, means both of them are sharing something, similar. And this process of grouping the people or the customer or the similar characteristics of the interest is known as the segmentation and the cohort analysis. Why there is the need of identifying the people with a similar interest? Because it is somehow helping us to define the better business strategy. As a player. Now let us quickly try to do a little bit of cohort analysis, and we will be using the same data set, sample superstore that we are having. Now, we are also going to talk about a concept of calculated fields. During these visual analysis, we'll be also talking about the concept of calculated fields. And calculated fields is basically where we are trying to, provide some formula as per our requirement. So, we are starting with our cohort chart. We are going to prepare the cohort chart. And this cohort chart is used to analyze the cohort, which in simple terms means the group. Now you can use this analysis to spot the pattern, trends, which is helping you to make marketing decisions. And you can also perform customer retention or acquisition analysis, or you can compare to the other cohorts that we have. Right. Now let us try to create this cohort chart. Now when you will go to the analysis over here, and when you will click on the drop down button, you will be seeing the option of creating calculated fee. Along with that, when you will click on this drop down button, you have this option here also, create calculated fee. Now you can choose from anywhere, that is up to you. And when you click on the create calculated, it will giving you a pop-up which is asking you to provide the name of this calculated. And the business problem that we are trying to solve over here is we are trying to do a segmentation of the customer from the data set that we have. When you're trying to create a calculated fee, you will see an arrow mark over here, which is giving us some predefined calculated fee, right? Or the formulas that we are having. If you just click on it, so we are having ABS, we are having ACOS, we are having AND. When you will click on that, it is showing you what should be the format in which you have to give the values over here. And what will you obtain? What will be the output? Like and will perform a logical conjunction on two expressions. If we are talking about area, it will return the area of a polygon or a multi-polygon. And this is how your formula works. Right? So we are having n number of formulas that we are having over here. For example, if I say last, so it is going to return the number of rows from the current values to the last row in the partition. Now let us say we are trying to create a calculated fee, and here we are trying to observe the first purchase that was done by the customer. The first purchase that was done by the customer. So I will quickly rename this calculation fee as your first purchase. And then I have to provide the formula. Now, when you are providing a formula, you have to use your brain, right? And you have to use your logical thinking also. So the formula that I'll be using is your fixed, right? Now, what is the fixed doing? Fixed is computing and aggregate using only the specified dimensions. So now we have to, specify the dimensions. We have it. But we are saying fixed. You have to select this. And then you have to provide the dimensions. Dimensions is I want my customer ID. So I will select that. Now syntax actually it is taken care of. If you observe, everything is being taken care of Tableau over here. Along with that, I'm saying min. Now what is the min do? Min is returning the minimum of an expression. And what expression? I want that expression to be my order detail. Right? Order detail. Done with that. Now what just happened? We are trying to find the first purchase day of the customer. The day a person becomes our customer. And logically thinking, When will that happen? When the customer is making the first purchase with us. How to find it out? I'm saying that take the customer ID. Now we know that, if you are going to the Amazon or if you are going to say Walmart, you will be given a customer ID, right? So I'm saying using that customer ID, find the minimum of the order date. For example, my name is Ashutosh, and I'll be having, a lot, I'll be having a customer ID. Let us say 4628 is my customer ID. And in the customer ID, I, regularly go to Walmart. So I bought something on this date, on this date, on this date, so on and so forth, so on and so forth, right? And the idea over here is to find the first purchase that was done by them, first purchase. So out of all the order dates I'm having, I'm trying to find the minimum of the order date. That is somehow showing me the first order date. And when you get hold of that first order date, that is where you are finding out the first purchase done by the customer. Now, once you have written your formula over here, you will see that it is showing the calculation is valid. But somehow, if there is any discrepancy in your formula, for example, if I just remove this, curly brackets over here. So it is showing us that the calculation is containing error. Right? So expected curly braces following the expression. So while defining a formula, you have to ensure that this is showing that the calculation is valid. You click on apply and then OK. You click on apply and then OK. As soon as it is done, the calculated field that you have prepared will be shown at the first point. Right? So we are trying to do a cohort analysis where we are trying to find, the cohort of the customers or the group of the customers who had been our repeat customers. What is the meaning of repeat customer? Repeat customer is a customer who has been doing a repeated, shopping with our brand. Now, somehow we were able to find out the first purchase of the customer. Now, when we're talking about the repeat customers, then you also need to identify the second purchase that is being done by them. Is this logic making sense? Right? Please respond. Now, if the customer is not doing the second purchase, how would you even say that is a repeat customer? That is illogical, right? Only if the customer is doing the second purchase, that means he is our repeat customer. If he has just done only one purchase, he is not our repeat customer. As simple as that. So we also need to create one more calculated field over here. By the name, second purchase. Now, when I say the logic, what I mean to say is that when we were talking about the first purchase, right? See the logic that I've applied over here. The logic is that out of all the customer IDs that I'm having, if I just try to figure out the minimum order date, that will be your first purchase, obviously. For example, the first purchase was done on 1st January 2023. Second purchase was done on, let us say, 10th January 23. Another purchase was done on, let us say, 8th September 23, August 23. Another was done on so and so day. And then the another was on this and this page. So out of all the available order dates, I'm trying to find the minimum order date. So here the minimum order date is this. And somehow this is telling us your first purchase of the customer. First purchase of the customer. So this is the logic I use to find the first purchase being done of the customer. In the same way, I want people to coordinate and try to come up with a formula using the various inputs that we are having. How can you find the second purchase? Now, it is perfectly fine to go wrong over here. That is completely fine. But the whole idea about this activity is to make you understand how to use the logics behind coming up with the form. Are you getting the business problem that we are trying to solve here? We have to find the second purchase. Now, try using some logic and try coming up with some form in this. Getting the point? As I told you people that you know what, when you're trying to come up with a calculated fee, you have to, even before you come to the formula, you have to come up with a logic. Now, the problem that we are trying to solve over here is that we want to see the second purchase. Now, try to understand the logic that will be applied over here. So, the logic over here is that we are having, various customer IDs. And we also are having various customer, order dates. Order dates. And these dates are talking about for the various IDs on which particular date the order was placed. Based on that, we have found out the first purchase. And now we are trying to find your second purchase. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you think that the order date of the second purchase will be greater than your first purchase? That is the logic. For the first purchase, we were trying to see the minimum of the order date. And it was giving us the first purchase over there. But when we are trying to look for the second purchase, now the second purchase will be any date that will be greater than the first purchase. As simple as that, right? So how to come up with a formula? See over here. So we are creating a calculated fee and let us give it a name as second purchase. And again, we have to use your fixed customer ID. Fine. And then we are trying to compare your minimum order date. Or let us say if minimum order date is greater than the first purchase date, right? Then give me that order date. And you have to end it, right? So we will say after order date, we have to end this. Okay, it is showing some errors. Just a moment. So we are having your fixed customer ID. That is fine. Then colon, we are having the minimum. And if this. order date. Now just see what we have done. I'm saying I want to compare the minimum of the order date with the first purchase. And if it is greater than your first purchase, then return me the order date and name. That is it. So this is going to give us the second purchase date. So click on apply and OK. There you go. You have your second purchase. First purchase and second purchase. We are done.